Hey y'all, thank you for joining me on another video. Yes, I've been MIA. This neurodivergent mind makes it really hard to be consistent, but I'm here now, and it's kind of a funny story as to why I'm here and what I'm talking about today. It started off that I got my Spotify yearly wrap up. Um, of the songs and the artists that I sang, listened to rather. And it was kind of funny that they picked random months, and I could tell what I was going through that particular month just by the songs I was listening to. So it was actually kind of enlightening. But it said the top artist for the year that I listened to was Jenna Paulette. She is a new to me artist, and I really do like her. She is awesome, and I would love to see her in concert if she ever came to my area. She has a song that particularly resonates to me, and that's called The Girl I Was. As by the title you could tell, it's basically talking about how uh, the girl she used to be is the girl that she's becoming again, and she's liking what she sees in the mirror. And that was actually one of the top songs that I listened to as well for the year. And I started thinking about that and really focusing on the words. And oh my goodness, it resonated when I really started focusing on the words. It resonated with me how true that is for my life. Um, when I have basically gotten back the penny I was before I met my ex. However, it's better. I'm better than I was. I had that spark back. I have that happy-go-lucky personality back. Um, but I also have my worth. I didn't know my worth back then. With all the abuse I endured with my biological father and then my ex, I didn't know my worth. Um, I started thinking about how I was before I met my ex, and then I thought about a letter that my stepdad had written to me. Um, Anybody new here, I refer to my stepdad as my stepdad simply for clarification. Um, when he was alive, I referred to him as dad only because that's what he was. He was dad. He loved me as if I was his, and never introduced me as anything, me or my sister, as anything but his daughters. And one particular season in life, I was an older teenager. I was 17, 18 years old. And I was on a struggle bus with my relationship with him and my mom for a lot of reasons, majority of them for me. And he wrote me a letter that I still remember to this day. I wish I had kept that letter. But I still have the contents of that letter in my heart. And he wrote me a poem. He loved to write poems. He was in addition to being the best saxophone player in the world, he was also a songwriter. So he often wrote poems and stuff. And he wrote a poem about me that basically highlighted all the attributes he loved about me, including nothing's going to get me down. I may be knocked down, but I'm going to get right back up. I wish I had that because it makes me smile just thinking about it. You know, that he saw me and saw that I was resilient and tough. But what I'm thinking about now is I didn't know my worth back then. I know it now. But I didn't know my worth then. I thought my worth was defined by whether I had a guy like me, whether I was married or had kids. I love my kids. I wouldn't trade them for the world. I had 3. I wish, to be honest, I had originally wanted at least 5. Um, so I don't regret my kids. But that's how I defined my worth, was through my kids and through being a wife and mother. I felt that I didn't have a whole lot of worth otherwise, you know, and that goes from all the abuse I endured at my father's hands and at my ex. And I look back at just the 4 years and how much I've changed since then, just in 4 years' time. Well, almost 5 years now. March will be 5 years. I realize that not only do I have the girl I was back, it's now the girl I was, but even better. You know, my former therapist called it Penny 2.0. I think I'm at Penny 3.0 by now. I know my worth. And by golly, nobody's going to push that down. Um, and if you don't realize my worth, hit the bricks. That's fine. Have a nice life. We're done. Um, you know, I don't mind being single. Do I want a relationship? Absolutely. I saw something at Facebook a while back that I actually saved to my phone because it resonated so well with me. It said, do I like being single? Yes, I do. Do I wish I were in a relationship? Absolutely. But here's the thing, I will stay single until I find someone whose presence is more valuable than my solitude. Someone who truly appreciates and respects me. Until I find that person, I'm perfectly happy with myself. My peace and my self-worth are far too important to settle for anything less. And that resonated so much with me because that is how I feel. That just put words to what I was feeling. Because I don't need a man to make me worth something. I don't need anyone to define me. Nobody gets to define me but me and God. That's it. And that's not how I was. Oh, I was spunky and outspoken and all the things. But I didn't know my worth. And that's where I am actually even better now, because I do. I'm not going to let anyone else push me down because they don't want to move up. I've had men claim that they're interested in me, And in the past, the old Penny would have run to worked her butt off to get their attention and on. I step back and I watch if they don't even attempt to make an effort. I go by their actions. I believe their actions more than their words. And I'm good with that. I have blocked and deleted men that claimed they wanted to go out with me and come to find out they only wanted one thing. There was a time that old Penny would have given them a second, third, fourth chance. No. Block, delete, done. Have a nice life. And that is so different than what I was. Not only am I the girl that I was, but I'm better. I just had a discussion with someone at my job that about how I know I'm good at my job. And I'm listening to myself and it sounded almost egotistical. But I was just stating facts because I am that good. Not that I don't have room for improvement, because I do. Because, as you can probably guess, my mouth gets me in trouble sometimes. If nothing else, as does this neurodivergent mind in trying to keep up on documentation for work. But when it comes to dealing with our clients, I am awfully dang good. And it's because of the empathy I have and being able to relate to the clients on a level that a lot of people can't because they haven't been through what I've been through. Admittedly, it didn't come without a price. Everything I went through, I'm able to use now as tools to help my clients with a fair amount of success. So I'm good, but it's not because of anything I've done. It's because of what I've gone through. Would I go through it again if I had to? If I got the chance? I don't know. That would depend. If I know what I know now, I would definitely change some things. But at the same time, at least I'm able to redeem some of what I went through. I went through literal hell on earth for a majority of my life. But now I use it for good. And I look back at what I was before I met my ex, and I could see that girl in there. I could see that girl in there. Because thinking back then, I was, oh my goodness, I was resilient, stubborn, positive. I remember I had a friend whose mother I admired so much. tell me that she admired the fact that I always look on the bright side. And to this day, it affects me because this woman, my friend's mother, I admired her. I aspired to be like her. She was a true lady, very refined, um, came from money to an extent, not a lot, but more than what I was coming from, and never treated me any different, treated me like family, considered me family, and yet I looked up to her like, oh my goodness. And yet she admired me for my attitude. That I'm awestruck even to this day. She's since passed away many years due to cancer. But oh my goodness. And but I didn't know my worth even then. You know, this lady who I admired tremendously talked up for me and said, poured into me positively. My stepdad poured into me positively. And yet I didn't know my worth. Now I do. Now I am able to advocate for myself where I wasn't before. I can absolutely advocate for myself and make sure that nobody's going to step on my feet or knock me down. I don't let people talk to me like that, like I used to, because I don't let people define me. Whereas before I let other people define me, I only define me, or more importantly, God defines me. And that's what I want you to take away from this, is that no matter what trauma you have endured in your life, no matter what other people have said that you are or defined you as, ultimately, they don't get to define you. You define you, and God defines you. Nobody else. So know your worth, because you were worth dying on the cross for. You were worth going through unimaginable, excruciating pain in order for the hope that you would spend the rest of your life with Jesus. God bless, and have a good day.